Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Friday afternoon. Welcome into this, another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next hour, as always, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Auburn headed to Oxford, Mississippi to take on the Ole Miss Rebels. Undefeated, number 9 in the country are the Rebels. Can Auburn pull off the upset here? It is they have owned this rivalry, if you want to even call it that.
Only 3 losses in Oxford.
Yeah, well, I mean, only 6 losses since 1971. 33-6 since 1971.
Hey, and this was a number 10 Ole Miss team last year that came into Jordan-Hare Stadium, and I know Matt Corral had an injury early, but came back and finished the game, but. Still a very good team that went on to have a good season. That Auburn really kind of controlled that game from the onset, and really that was the last time Auburn looked pretty good. I think it was. I mean, we didn't realize what we were watching at that time, but again, I think we got a lot of time obviously today to go in depth on what we both think and what everybody thinks about the game. And it's not a world beater Ole Miss team by any stretch. If Auburn could somehow go over there with an 11 o'clock kickoff and kind of get their legs under them a little bit, get something positive going offensively to help their defense, we can see what might happen.
Auburn has gotten off to some good starts. Can they maintain that? I think that's going to be imperative on the road against Ole Miss, because if Ole Miss –
Hey, let me just give a quick programming note.
Got a little bleed through.
Yeah, Kane, we got a little the speaker's still up in here in the studio, so you might want to cut that off. Auburn's got off to get some good starts. Ole Miss, that offense, they like to run quick tempo. If they get going, if they start making first downs, if they get that offense really running, with Auburn's lack of depth on defense, that's really going to be a death knell. Auburn's got a good defense. But when they have to play as many snaps as they have to play with a lack of depth, like you said, and I talked about it with Gary Harris this morning on his show, and he said, I still think Auburn has a really formidable defense. But he said when they have to go out there after being on the sideline for 2 seconds, get one sip of water, and they have to go back out there, and he said it didn't help that your coach put you in a bad situation a couple of times too. So it's one of those things, Andy. I said it this morning. I said it starts and stops with Auburn's offensive line. It impacts the entire team. Their inability to block obviously hurts the offense, but having to go back out there and our defense playing the majority of the snaps of the game, it impacts them because they're dead tired by the time the fourth quarter rolls around. Offensive line is terrible. All right, and it's really a shame that guys with as much, playing time under their belt as these guys have,
42 years,
are this bad. This bad, dude. I mean, there are clips, and we talked about it all week. We saw them and we shared them of guys just totally whiffing. I mean, this didn't block anybody, and so it affects an all-SEC type running back in Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter when they get the handoff and somebody's staring dead in the face and they can get touched. I mean, it affects Robbie Ashford's ability to throw is that when he gets the snap, there's 2 guys he's running from all of a sudden. It really, the offensive line woes have been bad for 4 or 5 years, but it's hit rock bottom in my opinion. And the trickle-down effect throughout the whole team, we're feeling it right now.
We got a phone call, but I told you yesterday, my pledge was – I will figure out a way for Auburn to win this game. I have a realistic formula for Auburn to win this football game, but it's all got to come together.
That's like having –
It seems unrealistic. It seems unlikely. But
unattainable.
But I think it actually could work if it all comes together.
Hey, look, before we go to the phone lines real quick, do want to get a comment. Kyle said the Clemson commit Chris Vazina will be right up the road for Briarwood playing Benjamin Russell for
a big game. Ben Russell wins that game. They clinch a playoff berth for the first time in 4 years.
Nice.
Sitting there at 5-2. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, go ahead.
Gentlemen, good morning, afternoon, sorry, from Oxford, Mississippi.
What time zone are you in, David?
David's in the Grove. Time has no meaning in the Grove.
I was there yesterday, and it was 10 acres of just grass and trees. And of course, they said today's garbage can day. They come and spread out all these red and blue garbage cans for the party tomorrow.
You helping them put them out there?
Go ahead.
You helping them put them out there?
No, I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm going to watch the men's and women's basketball team practice this afternoon, and they told me I can't even wear an Auburn shirt into the athletic facilities at Ole Miss.
Well, I can kind of see that. If you're gonna go watch their teams play, I don't think they want a big old bright orange shirt coming in there to watch their teams.
Well, I told them I'll wear my World Series shirt that had all of the logos on it, including Ole Miss, and I just give them a good War Eagle as I left the building.
There you go.
I got a great campus tour yesterday. Going to watch the basketball teams work out this afternoon. But from a football standpoint, everybody's been very nice. But I'm gonna go back to Mr. Positive one more week, and I'm going to say Ole Miss craps the bed one more time, and we win 24-23.
Oh, whoa.
24-23. I think that's what it would take, something like that.
Yeah. Hey, look, you just crossed the threshold, David. You made Auburn score more than 20 points. The world may collapse if we eclipse 20 points. So.
Well, I started to say 17-16, and I said, no, let's go on and get up in the 20s.
Now, that's sacrilegious, by the way. You can't use that score.
Riding high off of there. We did get an offensive line commit, which I know you guys are going to talk about. That was big. But, I'm with you, Brett. It's not a lot to really hang our hat on right now, but I'm just hoping against hope that tomorrow Ole Miss will say, well, dadgum, it's Auburn again. And just crap the bed one more time. We'll see.
David, hey, man, have a good time over there. Enjoy yourself. Of course, the Ole Miss fans are nice right now, and they'll probably be nice tomorrow too because things are really going their way, and they're not going our way. But maybe we can upset the party.
They're not. Well, I'm tailgating after the game in the Grove, after the game, watching Alabama, Tennessee with some Ole Miss folks. We'll see how they act according to how the game turns out.
That's right. Hey, thank you, David.
Did you eat at Ajax last night?
I did. Off the chain, brother. Oh, my gosh. I was
good.
in a food coma. It was unbelievable.
It is pretty good.
It really is. Hey, y'all have a great show, and I'll try to pull them through tomorrow.
Sounds
you,
good,
David.
buddy. See you, brother.
Yeah, David Jones, coast here in Oxford, on the ground, doing some.
He was on the ground in South Carolina last year too. Shall I remind you?
Didn't work out too well. So, yeah, he does bring up a good point. Look, hey, we've been barking about offensive linemen and the need for offensive linemen. Clay Whedon, the guy that committed to Michigan State.
Did you feel the earth shake this morning?
4-star offensive lineman commits to Auburn. It's a good thing. That's something to be celebrated right now.
Oh, no doubt.
And I sincerely hope that he is committing to Auburn and not the coaching staff. Let's just be perfectly honest here. And for somebody that understands the situation. Look, Christian Clemente put in a crystal ball for Reuben Bain, 4-star edge rusher.
We'll see.
Maybe recruiting.
Well, we only have 10 commitments, and we're dead last in the SEC behind Missouri and Vanderbilt, and we're 54th in the country.
Ahead of Missouri.
No, we're not. I looked at I looked at it this
yesterday.
We're not today.
No, we're not.
We got a commitment and went down. How did that go? How did that happen? I mean, I looked at 24/7's composite today, and we were 14th in the league.
Okay.
So again, I just thought, where do you have it to go up? I mean, you gotta.
Must have been a flurry of commitments after that 3-game losing streak Missouri had.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, let me say this about Ole Miss. Ole Miss has got a stretch here with Auburn coming in. If they handle business tomorrow, I think they got LSU and A&M coming up. This is a 3-game stretch, very winnable for them. Then they've got Alabama at home, and they've got some tough games, and that'll be a tough one for Ole Miss to win, obviously, because it's Alabama, and but I think they could, if by then, if they've won these games and they're undefeated going into that, even if they lose to Alabama, man, they got a chance to win out, Andy. I look at the rest of their schedule.
I think it's all SEC West, right?
It is, and it's not as LSU not as good. Obviously, Auburn's not as good. Alabama looks on the road a little bit more vulnerable than they do at home. Obviously,
the Egg Bowl is what it is.
The Egg Bowl, Mississippi State. They're no world beater. Arkansas's beatable. This is a team that Ole Miss could be sitting there. We could be looking at a team that wins 11 games, man, in the regular season.
Could you imagine?
How about this?
Could you imagine an undefeated Ole Miss and a one-loss Mississippi State in the Egg Bowl?
Well, how about this even further? What about Ole Miss wins out, and I'm just throwing these hypotheticals, and Tennessee wins the East, and it's Ole Miss and Tennessee in an SEC championship game? It'd be Ole Miss's first appearance, Tennessee's first appearance since Lord knows when, and then it's where Lane Kiffin coached. You think they'd be throwing some mustard and some golf balls? How odd would that one be?
Winner goes to the playoff.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of football left to play, though.
Yeah, let's be real.
If they lose to Auburn, all that's erased, by the way.
We got to take our first break here, but don't go anywhere. Just getting started on this edition of the Auburn Blitz.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA Weekly Show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 Preview Show, and Reclassification Reveal Show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
No monthly payments till after the holidays. At Glenn Smith in Opelika.
Enjoy big discounts on Chevrolet Buick and GMC SUVs. How about a brand new Chevrolet Buick or GMC with no payments till next year? New Chevy Equinox as low as $329 a month. New Buick Enclaves up to $5,000 off. New GMC Terrains up to $6,000 off.
Get 0% financing, no payments till next year at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. About 45 more minutes left in today's program. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Brought to you each and every day by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, saving people thousands of dollars each and every year on their home mortgage. Interest rates are going up, so would have been great to get in on that about a year or so ago, but still an opportunity for you to save some money with Mortgage Pro, because they will seek out the best price for your mortgage. 256-397-0248.
Hey, just because the rates are where they are now, they have a forecast, and they can help you kind of go ahead and start planning for things. And the market's volatile and all, but you go sit down with a professional. Don't you sit back and make decisions. Let them kind of do it. Hey, I'll go back, and when they updated, we did move to 12 in the conference.
Okay.
From 14. So we did leapfrog Missouri and Vanderbilt. Okay. Got some comments coming in. Lauren said hello.
It's Mike. Mike Carlisle.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Mike said War Eagle. Wes says go to heck, Ole Miss. I won't. I could say it, but Jamie said 31-10 Ole Miss. Dale said if Auburn had played Ole Miss's schedule, what would our record be? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it'd be. Could we have beaten Tulsa?
Could we have beaten Troy, Tulsa, and Georgia Tech?
Probably
yeah,
not.
Probably. I think
Georgia Tech.
Could we have beaten Kentucky? Nah.
No.
Not.
Wade said, is it about to be grime time on the plains? I don't know, man.
Surely we'd be 4-1 against that schedule. Vandy?
Well, Andy, we've
lost to Penn State, a top 10.
I give them credit.
We've lost to LSU, which we should have.
I think 4-2 would be where we should be right now.
Yeah.
And I think at least that over there with that schedule. Bill said with new O-line commitment, Clay Whedon, Auburn's class number 48 now. Yeah. Look, got to continue to recruit.
Yeah, it ain't about. It's not about. It's about quantity.
It's not.
That's what it's about. It's all of what it's about. It's about quantity. We got a very high quality class right now. It's just there's just not enough of them.
No, there's not. So again, you look at it from a standpoint of you got to keep grinding. You got to keep getting players, but you're fighting a lot of stuff right now if you're Auburn, because first of all, you got to get some of your coaches to get off their rear end and actually go see some guys. That would help.
That'd be nice.
That would help. Okay, first of all. Second of all, you're battling the fact.
That's not going to happen, Brett.
Well, I guess not.
I mean, at this point.
But, that's on Brian. That's on Brian Harsin, though, dude. I mean, he's the guy that needs to be. But when he only goes up the road a few miles every Friday, when you had 5 consecutive home games, what else can you do? But anyway, going back, another thing you got to do is you got to fight all of this negative stuff going on with kids that really might want to go. I just gave you an example. I won't mention the kid's name, but he's a top prospect that told one of our assistant coaches, I love you. I love the program, but I'm just not going to pull the trigger right now. Because, and can't blame them, Andy. They don't know what the situation's going to be in a few months or a few weeks or what the deal is. So if everything was semi-normal, you having a semi-normal season with a guy that's not in the hot seat, you actually had your assistants going out more. Some of them are going out every week, but some are not going anywhere. Had everybody on the ground going and seeing people, yeah, your recruiting probably be in a better situation right now. But you're just dealing with the fallout from the off season this past year and the current situation of the program right now. So it's just a lot to fight.
That we keep getting these, and these get put out, and it gets passed around on Twitter or whatnot, but it continued to say, Brian Harson's been to one high school football game.
Outside of Auburn High School, he's been to every one of them.
All those,
he went to the Stanhope Carver game. And why did he go there?
Because
Auburn
and Quayside, but
Auburn played. Yeah. Auburn High School played on Thursday night that week.
But our offensive line coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and tight end coach have not been to a game this year. If that's true, that's dereliction of duty.
That's the head man's job is to. Do you think there's some assistants at Alabama that aren't going somewhere on a Friday night when they're at home?
I'd be shocked if there were.
I mean, do you think Kirby Smart's? You think Dale McGee and some of them guys are sitting at the house on a Friday night when they're home in Athens, just twiddling thumbs? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, to me, that says a lot about what you're doing. When you're not putting your best foot forward, look, I understand you're going to lose some recruiting battles and you're not going to get everybody and you're going to lose games but when you're putting forth your best effort, you're giving your all and you don't get what you need, I can live with that a little bit. When you're throwing everything out there and you just fall short a little bit on a guy or two, but when you're not even putting a full court press on, it's really all on you. It's all on your program, and it comes back to the head man, right?
No doubt. And again, that's kind of why we keep
John
saying.
said, when has Auburn had a normal season in the last 30 years? We have one every once in a while, and again, when you
what's normal?
When you have when things are going right. When things are –
Oh, well, then, yeah, we've had several of those.
So, I mean, if it looks like you got stability – and guys can buy into a process, to use Nick Saban's term, buy into some type of consistency rather than worrying if, hey, is this guy going to be here next year, or what's the deal going to be? I mean, that's what you classify as a semi-normal year.
Yeah. Well, Gus Malzahn, it's been ultra chaotic ever since he took it.
It has,
and really since Gene Chizik took it.
Right.
Yeah.
It has been, probably a good day. You've had some really high highs, and you've had some lows, and you've had some
really low lows.
Yeah, some 12.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after these messages.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's show, brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center with 10 locations around Central Alabama. For all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be, go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. You'll be glad that you did. Let's go back to the phone line.
What's up, Terry?
Guys, how y'all doing today?
Doing great, man. It's Friday.
How can it be any worse? Hey, I hate to put you guys on the spot, but Brett, I want to answer for you and Andy. If Auburn goes over there and gets clobbered tomorrow in Oxford, does Brian Harsin coach his last game at Auburn?
You know, that's interesting. Somebody sent me a text just before the show that said, this is one of those things. They had talked to somebody in the athletic department, and they're getting the impression that as far as Chris Roberts is concerned, he has no intention of firing him until the end of the season. Now, take that for what you will. If Auburn goes out and gets beat by 21 points or more,
if it looks
there's going to be a loud cry for it.
Well, that's kind of like you take a chance to go into court. You might catch the judge in a good mood. You might catch him in a bad mood.
Well, I think a lot of emotion goes into firings during the middle of the year.
Right,
I think when things hit a point where it looks like there is absolutely no hope or it's not going to get any type of better at all, sometimes it's better to just go ahead and part ways and move forward. I think a lot of that happens with how games are won. I talked to Gary Harris on his show this morning, and I said that exact thing. I said it depends on how the game plays out. If it's 48-10 to an Ole Miss team that you've only lost 2-3 times over there and really have owned for a long time, and they beat your brains out, then that's warranted maybe an immediate response. But if they go over there and it's 31-27 or 27-21 or something like that, going into an off week, maybe they say, look, it's just better to keep things as is, finish the season out, and we'll make a change at the end.
Well, I'd be as shocked as anybody if Auburn scored 21 or 27 points.
I'm just throwing a hypothetical
quite
out
honestly.
there.
So
I'm just throwing a hypothetical out there.
Yeah, I know, Brett. I understand. So I want to ask you guys a question as Auburn fans. I want to take you back a decade. It's going to be a while, but I just want to ask this question. It's a decade ago, when all the Cam Newton stuff was going on, did that not bother y'all? Am I the only one? Not just that week. Did it bother me? Because I got sick and tired of hearing everybody calling up radio stations like Jots and other stations around the country saying, well, I got a friend my girlfriend works at the steakhouse, and her friend works at the Huddle House, and she knows a guy who's got a cousin who's got a nephew who swears to God the bagman was involved.
Yeah, it got tiresome.
Yeah.
I think Auburn did I mean, you know what? You can say what you want to about Gene Chizik, and we've all criticized, and I think he lost control of the program. But him managing and those coaches managing that situation all the way through the season, basically from halfway point on, and especially the week of the Georgia game back then when you didn't even know if, it really had kind of hit a fever pitch whether he was going to play or not, and then you had to wait till Tiger walked to see if he was even with the team, and he was. And, it would have been so easy for that team to collapse under the pressure, and they didn't do it. So, and they finished the deal, so that even made it better.
Well, I was as critical as Gene Chizik as anybody. You guys know that. I say he managed two things well. He managed the Camden situation real good, and he managed to get out of Auburn. Take care, guys.
Appreciate it, Terry. Thank you so much. And, I think Auburn, and John says it right here on a comment. He said Auburn just needs to get out of its own way, quit stepping in their own mess before a real positive change is going to occur. And I think that's a common theme of, and I think that's what Alabama had to come to a realization of. And Luke and I have talked about it on our other shows. And I've had Alabama friends come up to me and tell me, he said, look, if we'd have hired Rich Rodriguez, we might be on Coach 12 now since Gene Stallings. He said, our fan base is just as bad as anybody's in the country about having no patience and not accepting mediocrity. And, they had gone through a string of coaches, Andy, and couldn't get it right. But they finally got a guy that came in there and said, look, I'm going to do this my way, and if you're not going to let me do it my way, then I'll leave. But if I'm going to be here and I'm going to coach this program, I'm going to run it the way I feel like I need to run it. And I need autonomy. And that's what Auburn's ultimately going to have to do, because really the consistent common denominator, Andy, over the last 20 or 30 years with all these coaches flipping, is what does it always come back to? It comes back to administration and power brokers that are making these decisions. All the way back to Jetgate with Tommy Tuberville.
Yeah. Well, look, the more I think about it, the more I keep – Auburn, built their brand on – being physical and mean and nasty and playing really good defense and running the ball. And you say, well, nowadays it's a different world, it's a different offense. But, man, we've been soft ever since Chizik. We've started getting soft at that point. And we were tough under Tuberville. We were tough and mean and nasty at times. But, Gus Malzahn, when we opened things up and we started getting, a little bit more finesse and doing things, it worked to some degree because, we had some great success like you talked about.
Right.
But we got to get back to that. Auburn is just soft. You look at watching them play today, you got offensive linemen on their backs. You got look,
I don't want to just continue to pound.
Kind of that
I just don't want to continue to pound.
And I don't care who the coach is.
Look, though,
you just got to get back to that.
Robbie Ashford at one point in time, and you could read his lips. You're a terrible reader.
I'm the worst
so
ever.
You probably didn't, but everybody else in the world saw exactly what Robbie Ashford said. They didn't need the volume turned up. He said, "Can someone effing block somebody?" And that's exactly what he said when he was chased out of the pocket for the 700th time against Georgia, and he's like, God almighty, can somebody just keep somebody at bay for a second? And so the frustration was starting to build, and you're just like, man, how can these guys up front be this bad? It's the worst offensive line, Andy, I've ever seen at Auburn, really. To have this much playing time experience under their belt. I mean, is it the blocking schemes? Is it them just not? Are they that bad? Is it Will Friend? What is it? Because like you said, they aren't physical. They don't demand the line of scrimmage. And every part of Auburn's problems right now, to me, I told you this at the first segment, revolves around lack of offensive line play and production up front.
I thought they got it a little bit better from 2020 to 2021. I mean, not a lot, but I thought they improved because I thought we were horrendous in 2020. And we got a little bit better. So that's why I thought, well, man, Will Friend might be a pretty good coach. And we have regressed so far in 2022. It's staggering to think about, like you say. We got to take another break. When we come back, Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Someday, in the not-so-distant future, it happens. In that moment, you realize you're ready for anything. Get a degree in emergency management from Jacksonville State University and be ready when it matters most.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need three things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually four. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
2 nights, 1 weekend at ATL Live. Friday, November 11th, his first concert ever at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Billy Joel. With Lionel Richie and Sheryl Crow. And Saturday, November 12th, 8-time Grammy winner Chris Stapleton with Miranda Lambert, Dwight Yoakam, and more. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss ATL Live, powered by Ticketmaster.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, 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 Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you just for a couple more segments in today's show. But first, we'll go to the phone line and welcome in our good friend Jason Caldwell from inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason, on your way to Oxford, Mississippi to take in the game this weekend. Auburn, look, they're a big underdog. This is a team they have traditionally dominated. I think they're 33-6 since 1971. But a 15-point underdog, a very uncomfortable and unusual position to play Ole Miss. Is there any way Auburn can pull an upset here?
Yeah, right now I think so, because I'm still not certain how good Ole Miss is because of the schedule they played. They just played a terrible schedule at this point. Now they've done what they needed to do in that schedule. They've run the football. They've stopped the run. They've done all the things to take care of business in that regard. And you look at Auburn and you go, outside of Penn State, Georgia, they played the rest of those games would not be considered a great schedule either. And Auburn has not done those things even in those situations. So you look at it and I think it comes down to the line of scrimmage, and it's obviously much the same for this Auburn team. We talked about it for years, and it doesn't matter the system unless you're spreading the field and throwing it a ton and can do that. You got to be able to run the football, and right now Auburn can't run the football. Once again, they didn't run it last week against Georgia. They're averaging 98 yards right now against Power 5 in the 4 games against Power 5 competition. You're not beating anybody averaging 98 yards rushing, and so that's where this Auburn offense stands. Defensively, they've done much better against the pass, and I think they've done some things, but man, I just see them wearing out during games. So we've seen it for Penn State and Georgia especially. And you look up and in 6 games, Auburn's allowed 16 rushing touchdowns, and I vividly remember growing up and into my high school years and getting the Inside the Auburn Tigers newsletter, and for years you'd look down at that rushing total, and Auburn would be twice as much as the opponent, and the touchdowns would be 1 or 2, and that would be halfway through a season that Auburn allowed rushing, and they've allowed 16, and they're getting worn out. There's not much depth, and not the greatest idea to go into Saturday when it's supposed to be 85, 86 degrees in Oxford. It's going to be a warm day. And Auburn has to avoid letting Ole Miss get that tempo ground game started, or we could be looking at what we've seen a couple of times already this year.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious in Athens last week. Auburn's defense held their own in the first half. We gave Georgia the short field twice. They took advantage of it. Outside of that, they didn't move the ball very much. I think they had 76 yards of offense outside of those 2 drives, but you go into the second half, which has been horrible for the last, 10, 12 games under Brian Harsin dating back to last year. Can't move the football, can't score. You get a turnover right out of the gate in the second half, and you can only cash in for 3. You kind of had the handwriting on the wall at that point. It's just the inability. I told Andy, Jason, that Auburn's inability to move the football on a consistent basis impacts the entire team. It impacts, obviously, the defense because they're having to play a majority of the snaps, and I thought they held their own really through 3 quarters against a very good Georgia team, but by the time the 4th rolled around, the dam broke because they were just worn out.
And that's why the fake punt didn't make much sense because of your first statement, and it's right on the money. This team hasn't shown the ability to move the football consistently down the field, and even if you get that fake punt, you're still 60 yards away from the touchdown. This team hasn't shown they can drive 60, 70 yards down the field. The risk so much outweighed the reward in that situation that it wasn't worth it. And then, especially in that time of the game, it's nothing. Your defense had played great. Georgia, with every minute that passed, was getting a little bit more frustrated. The fans were a little bit restless. It was not real loud in Sanford Stadium the middle of that first quarter because it wasn't already 14-0. They were a little bit uneasy about what they'd seen from that team because the last 2 weeks, and you let them off the hook. And that's the thing now as you look at it, can't afford those situations against anybody, but much less in a game like that. And now you face a different opponent. This Ole Miss defense isn't going to be as physical as that Georgia defense was, but they played pretty darn good, and they're confident right now. It's a confident Ole Miss team, and if you're Auburn, you better make something happen early on in this game or you're asking for trouble.
Well, they are confident, and again, this is an Ole Miss program that don't get very many wins against Auburn, so they're licking their chops. This is a golden opportunity for them to keep an unbeaten record and play well in front of their home crowd and kind of make this push toward the end of the season. But I thought last week when you talked about Georgia and really an identity crisis, and you said it on this program last week, Jason, you said, Georgia's throwing the ball with Stetson Bennett, and that would play into Auburn's hands. We'd love to see them throw, but they went back to old school Georgia like you kind of predicted, and Auburn couldn't handle it. And, again, that was the problem is this Georgia team, if you force them to throw, Stetson Bennett doesn't look like the same guy from last year. And I know they lost some guys, and it's they're still talented, but – if Auburn could have forced Stetson Bennett to throw more, I think the game would have been different. But they were giving up, an average of 7-point-something yards per carry. And against that kind of numbers, you're not going to beat anybody. But you called it, Jason. I'll give you credit. You said if Auburn can somehow get that Georgia team that's played the last 2 weeks, they might have a chance. But once they decided to go back to old school and just run the ball, there was nothing this team could do.
Yeah, they were running it, okay early, but didn't have anything to show for it, and you let them get up 14-0 and have a little chance to take a deep breath. If he missed 2 wide open touchdown passes in that game, it could have easily been 56-10. I mean, they were 7-8 yards behind the defense, and he missed both of them overthrown. You look at it, and obviously, what different type of offense, but in the end, it's the same thing. I think Ole Miss wants to come out and go, hey, we're going to come out and try to run the football and do what other teams have done. Penn State and Georgia especially have had success running against Auburn. I'll be very surprised if we don't see the same from Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin's the guy, and they threw it for 400 yards last week because they had to. But I think right now you look at this team and Quinshawn Judkins and Zach Evans, and even the quarterback is a guy that's a much better runner than people think, in Jackson Dart. If Auburn cannot keep them from running and gashing them with some plays on the ground, then you open up the entire playbook for Lane Kiffin, and that is not where you want to be as a defense.
Jason, thank you so much for being with us. You guys be careful, and then hopefully it'll be a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. See y'all.
Don't go anywhere. One more segment of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you. Just one more segment in today's show, brought to you each and every day by Big Fish Real Estate. For all your real estate needs here in the Lake Martin area as well as down there on the coast, give them a call today, 551-BIG-FISH, or look them up, bigfishlakemartin.com. Here's a weird stat. Robbie Ashford, dead last in the SEC in completion percentage, 48% completion percentage. Okay, 48% completion percentage. However, when he completes a pass, he completes it for an average of 14.8 yards, which is number 1 in the SEC. So
when he hits one, it's pretty good.
It's great. How do we get him to complete more passes? Okay. Well, look, can I give you my strategy? Can I give you my
formula? Let's roll out what you said as far as
this is how Auburn beats Ole Miss.
Everybody got their notebooks and pens.
They cause 3 turnovers and commit 0. That is real. Now they hadn't done that this year. They got to do. But look, Ole Miss has got a mental block against Auburn.
They do.
So we got to take advantage of that. As somebody had said, Ole Miss crap in the bed. Who did? I think David said that.
David.
Auburn caused 3 turnovers, commit 0. Now here's the tough one. Auburn's got to run for 165 yards. That's not a lot. So I broke it down. Tank Bigsby, he can get 75. Ashford 55. Hunt Jarquez Hunter 35 or some variation of that. We have got to use Robbie Ashford in the running game. That is a gift.
Jason
I'm
just
not
said
talking
they don't
about
wanna do it.
scrambling.
Well, Jason just said they're not going to do that.
I'm not talking about scrambling. I'm talking about we got to use it.
Well, he said they're afraid to do that.
I know.
So scratch that.
Well, that's why they got to use. They got to come out and do something they hadn't done.
He's just they're circling the
We got
lanes,
to throw for 240 yards. Ashford threw for 330 against LSU, so he's capable.
Yeah.
Nobody even has to.
Brian Harsin came out and said he expects Robbie Ashford to play
better.
a lot better.
Well, we expected him to take a step back against Georgia because of the defense. Stop the run. That's going to be very, very difficult. But I think Auburn can do that in the first half if they got to sell out to stop the run early and get a lead and make Ole Miss throw the ball, make them one-dimensional. Need 3 sacks. I think at least 3, maybe 4 sacks. Against
Jackson Dart thrown 5 interceptions.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm 30's unrealistic. We need 27 points.
Vanderbilt got off to a fast start last week.
Yes, it did. Tied to half.
Now they got blown out.
They did in the second half. But Tulsa, 8-point game. They ran for over 200 yards.
Yeah,
Tulsa
they
did against Ole Miss.
Okay.
So score 27 points. How do you do that? Well, got to take advantage
Ole
of
Miss's
opportunities in the red
defense has
zone.
given up more and more points every week.
No missed field goals. You know.
Well, okay.
So there you go. There's your formula to beat Ole Miss.
Score 30 points.
No, I said 27. That's unrealistic. 27.
Okay. So 27 not unrealistic.
Well, we're averaging 20. Just get one more touchdown.
Lord, look at the 2 first opponents we played. If you take them out, what are we averaging? You probably
take out that 42.
All right, Ole Miss's defense is giving up 14 and a half a game.
You got to double that.
You got to double it. Can
they
do it? I mean, you get a pick 6. I mean, if your defense can help you. I mean, there's ways. This is not an unbeatable Ole Miss team. It's 11 o'clock on the road. You know, in my opinion, it favors the away team more than the home team in an 11 o'clock. I mean, look at Tennessee last week. I mean, would the situation been different at night? Maybe a little bit, but Tennessee still would have won the game. At 11 o'clock, LSU fans weren't in it. By about halfway through the first quarter, they'd left. I mean, that was the loudest resounding Rocky Top chant after about a quarter and a half I've ever heard. And I was like, are they at home?
Yeah.
I mean, they were and they demolished them. It's just not favorable for the home. It's not a home field advantage the way it would be at an afternoon or night game most of the time in the SEC. So can Auburn take advantage of that? Now, I know we play like crap at 11 o'clock. But most of the time that's at home.
Yeah.
You know, can they go on the road and it not be as raucous of an environment and take advantage of that? I don't know. We'll see.
All right, some interesting games. Arkansas at BYU. Boy, Arkansas needs a win. Can they get it on the road at BYU?
I'm going to say no.
No? I think KJ Jefferson, if he plays, I think Arkansas can win this game. LSU.
Well, they've really come back.
They really have. LSU at Florida. I mean,
like Florida.
Whoever wants it more.
I like Florida
wins
at
this.
home.
Really?
I do.
Okay. Mississippi State at Kentucky. I don't think Will Levis plays in this game. I'm rolling with my Bulldogs.
I'm probably going to go with Mississippi State, man. Kentucky looked terrible last week.
They did. They couldn't get anything going without Levis. Alabama's at Tennessee.
Ooh, man, I'm telling
Top
you.
10 matchup.
It'd be the biggest environment in Knoxville in 15 years in that game. They want that game so bad. Will the emotions be too much for them to handle? Will they be too jacked up? And what version of Bryce Young are we going to get? You know he's going to play, but is he 100%? Probably not going to be. Is he going to be in at selected times? How much of the burden is Jalen Milroe going to have to shoulder? He didn't look very good against A&M.
If Bryce Young starts and finishes the game, I pick Alabama by at least 10. If he does not finish the game and play a majority of it,
you roll?
Tennessee could win this game.
But here's the thing, though. If you're Nick Saban, I know you want to win them all, but this is not going to end your run to an SEC championship. Is he more valuable to just say, look, we're going to have to just cut our losses on this one Because if he takes the right shot, if he's not 100%, he could be done for the year.
You know Tennessee's going to be active.
Oh, of course, and he could be done for the year. So, I mean, is it worth that to try to win this game? In my opinion, if I'm Nick Saban, of course, they're managing it obviously the best way they want to manage it. But I'm thinking, yeah, we don't want to lose them. We've beaten them 15 years in a row. But my end goal is to go to the SEC Championship and play for another one. I mean, if we lose this and we lose him for the rest of the year, it changes the whole perspective.
I agree. Auburn at Ole Miss, number 9 Ole Miss. What's your score?
31-17 Ole Miss.
I'm sticking with my formula. Auburn wins 27-24.
Jeffrey Haynes says
shocker.
Jeffrey Haynes says 38-23. Jim says 2017 Auburn.
Look out.
There we go. We top 20.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Saturday Sports Countdown on Saturday early, 7 to 9.
Kicked off.
Yeah, that's right. He's Brad. I'm Andy. Have a great weekend, everybody. War Eagle. We'll talk again soon.